First we can study the basic principle of piston pumps. Piston pumps are meant for the high pressure applications. Mainly piston pumps are used for high pressure applications or high head applications. These pumps have high efficiency and simple design and needs lower maintenance. These pumps convert rotary motion of the input shaft to the reciprocating motion of the piston. They work on the principle that a reciprocating piston draws fluid inside the cylinder when the piston retracts in a cylinder bore and discharges the fluid when it extends. Generally, these pumps have fixed inclined plate or variable degree of angle plate known as swash plate. When the piston barrel assembly rotates, the swash plate in contact with the piston slides along its surface. The stroke length depends on the inclination angle of the swash plate. When the swash plate is vertical, the reciprocating motion does not occur and hence pumping of fluid does not take place. As the swash plate angle increases, the piston reciprocates inside the cylinder barrel. So this is a line diagram of piston pump. So this is the plate which is called swash plate. The number of pistons are connected in the swash plate through the cylinder piston rod. So when this swash plate or shaft rotates, one side of the pistons will move inner dead center, other side of the piston move outer dead center. So whenever the piston moves outer dead center, suction will be takes place. Whenever the piston moves outer dead center, outlet delivery will be takes place. This is a simple principle of piston pump. Then axial piston pump. Axial piston pump or positive displacement pumps which converts rotary motion of the input shaft into an axial reciprocating motion of the piston. These pumps have number of pistons in a circular array within a housing which is commonly referred to as a cylinder block, rotor or barrel. These pumps are used in jet aircraft. They are also used in small earth-moving plants such as skid loader machines. In general, these machines have a maximum operating temperature of 120 degrees Celsius. Therefore, the leakage between cylinder housing body block is used for cooling and lubrication of the rotating parts. These pumps have subtypes as, again it is divided into two types: bend axis piston pumps, swash plate axial piston pump. Bend axis piston pump that you can see now. In these pumps, the reciprocation action of the piston is obtained by bending the axis of the cylinder block. The cylinder block rotates at an angle which is inclined to the drive shaft. The cylinder block is turned by the drive shaft through a universal link. The cylinder block is at an offset angle which is with the drive shaft. If there is no offset angle, the suction or delivery will not be takes place. The cylinder block contains a number of pistons along its periphery. These piston rods are connected with the drive shaft flange by ball and socket joints or universal joints. These pistons are forced in and out their bores as the distance between the drive shaft flange and the cylinder block changes. The universal link connects the block to the drive shaft to provide alignment and a positive drive. So this is a simple line diagram of this bend axis piston pump. So this is a drive shaft. There is a plate. In this plate, the number of pistons are connected through the connecting rods. So when the drive shaft rotates, the pistons available, this whole arrangement will be rotate. When this piston come in the top portion, it moves outer dead center. So suction will be takes place. The same piston when it come in this position, it moves inner dead center. So outlet will be takes place. Then you can see swash plate axial piston pump. This is similar to bend axis pump. In swash plate axial piston pump, a series of pistons are aligned coaxially with a shaft through a swash plate pump a fluid. As the piston barrel assembly rotates, the piston rotates around the shaft with the piston shoes in contact with the swash plate. The piston shoes follow the angled surface of the swash plate, and the rotational motion of the swash is converted into the reciprocating motion of the pistons. When the swash plate is perpendicular to the shaft, the reciprocating motion to the piston does not occur. As the swash plate angle increases, the piston follows the angle of the swash plate's surface, and hence it moves in and out of the barrel. So suction and delivery will be takes place. Next you can see the radial piston pump. The piston pump has pistons aligned radially in a cylindrical block. So it's just like vane pumps. It consists of pintle, a cylinder barrel with pistons, and a rotor containing a reaction ring. The spindle directs the fluid in and out of the cylinder. The pistons are placed in radial bores around the rotor. The piston shoes ride on an eccentric ring which causes them reciprocate as they rotate. The eccentricity determines the stroke of the piston pump. Each piston is connected to inlet port when it starts extending, while it is connected to the outlet port when it starts retracting. This connection to the inlet and outlet port is performed by the timed porting arrangement in the spindle. For initiating a pumping action, the reaction ring is moved eccentrically with respect to the spindle or shaft axis. As the cylinder barrel rotates, the piston on one side travel outwards. This draws the fluid in as the cylinder passes the suction port of the spindle. It is continued till the maximum eccentricity is reached. When the piston passes the maximum eccentricity, spindle is forced inwards by the reaction ring. This forces fluid to flow out of the cylinder and enters the discharge port of the spindle. So this is a common things about piston pumps.